Really what it comes down to is, I mean, there's two options, right? You can hold the property, you can sell the property. Which scenario is going to be best for us and for our investors?
Hello, we are now live.
We are.
Thank you for joining us. We're in our Santa Monica satellite office, also known as Max's home.
Last time we talked about, why people sell, why people come to the table, things that change in people's lives of property owners. And what we want to discuss today is our strategy of when do we hold properties, when do we sell properties, which we do on projects now, and we have to determine, are we going to hold them for 3 years, 5 years, 20 years, or are we going to sell, take our proceeds out? If we buy a property today that's, let's say, worth $1 million, and in 12 to 15 months by repositioning it, maybe now it's worth $2 million. So now that the property is worth $2 million, what do we do?
We decide either we're going to sell the property or we're going to refinance the property. If we can refinance the property, what that means is that we put a new loan on the building, and we'll have an existing loan on the property. We'll pay that loan off and get a larger loan. And what that does is the difference between the existing loan and the larger loan, those are called refi proceeds that we're able, or cash out refi proceeds that we're able to return to the investors.
For us, as we look at, well, how much are the refi proceeds? How much equity can we return to the investor? Does it make sense? And I think we've established somewhat of a baseline, maybe 70% plus.
So we can take money out of the property, return it to the investors, so give them a portion of their equity, a portion of their investment back, and still make quarterly distributions, be able to write checks to the investors on a quarterly basis every 3 months so that the investors are getting cash flow. In addition to how much cash can we pull out of the property through the cash out refinance proceeds, how much will we be cash flowing after we do the refinance? Another component to that decision is what is going on in the neighborhood, right? Is there a big development across the street that's going to add value? Is there a prison being built across the street that's going to devalue the property?
The other analysis too is like, instead of just returning the proceeds to the investor on a refi, maybe they'll say, hey, I'll just give you those proceeds, keep my equity. I know we own this building for a lot less. Now let's go buy another deal. So there is that option where, like, if you can pull out 500 grand or $1 million, can I take that money into another deal while still owning the original building? Can we recapture enough equity on a refinance? Can we cash flow enough that it makes sense, where it's substantial enough, where we're writing checks to our investors every quarter? Or can we sell the property, make our return, and then get into something else that might be better for us?
We're kind of of a different mindset, which is we'll always sell as long as the price makes sense. We say, what is available in the marketplace within reason that we can buy, and what equity do we have in the property? If we were to sell, what is the extractable equity? How much cash will we get out of the property if we sell it? And then what can we do with that money?
There's a lot of operators, syndicators, investment companies that will take a fee when they sell. It's called a disposition fee, 1%, 2%, whatever it is, right off the top. We don't. Our whole selling mindset is taking care of our investors. Is it the best thing for our investors, or is there a different route that might be better? So we're not incentivized at all. We don't take a fee.
Our compensation is performance based. It's based off of the performance of the asset. So the more that we make for the investors, the more that we make for the Goldfinger Group. The other reasons we'll sell. What do you think? I don't know. Looking at the notes here, why else do we sell? We'll also take into consideration not only the asset and the cash flow, but also who our investors are in the deal, what their objectives are, and can't satisfy everyone all the time, but we try to take a holistic approach to what is the general appetite of the investor pool for that particular deal. And another reason why we'll look at selling a property is if it's not within our what people will call like our wheelhouse, with the factor that the property was located in an area where none of our other assets are, and we weren't particularly thrilled about that location.
But the goal is to, hey, let's achieve the return that we set out to, and then let's take it into another project and keep that rolling, and it compounds. So if I invest 100 grand and my 100 grand turns, let's say we made 10%, turns into 110 grand. Now I take that into the next deal, I make another 10%, now I'm at 121, it's compounding.